Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome back to kind of a quick update. So this is going to be about the LS Paramedic modded course, and we've successfully moved from the .NET community hook that's out there to the RageHook. So we're going to press F8 to go on duty, and most of this is temporary GUI placement, but the functionality is starting to get there. And I kind of wanted to just show what it's like. And you'll see random debugs, maybe random numbers at the bottom of the screen or something like that, and that's just like little debug stuff I'm keeping track of as like experimental. So you can see we just got past the call, dispatch. We're 202, and they've got reports of unconscious person, respond code 3. And that'll bump up there. I don't like to have it fill in immediately. I think it like takes time for information to relay. So you'll see we finally eventually get the relay. Oh my, nobody wants to stop. And for most of you that are wondering, I'm still conferring, like, what's happening now is I'll often build a mechanic, and I think it's suitable in terms of ELS, or EMS, and then I'll show it to, like, one of the, like, paramedic guys that know what they're talking about, and they'll be like, FinKone, that's dumb, like, it needs to work this way. And then I'll go back and rewrite it. So while it is slowing me down a little bit, it's actually really good because I think it's going to be more authentic. And I know other people are going to be making like fireman mods and lifeguard mods and EMS mods and things like that. And that's good. And I've even had people ask me if they can use the CPR animation. Like, you can use anything you want. This is free reign. This is the modding community. Like, you don't have to ask permission. Now, if you're going to steal my code, sure, please ask some permission and good luck with that. But, you know, it's free reign, and I really look forward to, you know, the healthy and fun competition that the modding community is going to bring. And the reason that I chose to only do paramedic and not fire and not lifeguard, not mountain rescue and not mountain ranger or all piled into one is because I'm a depth guy. I love making complex mechanics, realistic mechanics, and adding depth to the situation. So many of the other paramedic mods, even for like Grand Theft Auto 4, after having years and years of people make stuff for it, is very basic. Like, you just show up, you kind of administer basic aid, get them stabilized, and move them. I want to accomplish more than that. So you can see we've kind of slowly been adding more and more functionality. And right now, I'm just displaying the basic CPR mechanic that I've tied up that'll work for PEDs. My end goal will be to get it to work for everything. And we'll kind of go from there. Like, I want you to be able to stumble upon a dead pedestrian that's not in my script and be able to utilize my CPR mechanics to get them better. But we'll see if I can do that. Only time will tell. I haven't gotten to toying around with that yet. So here's our basic menu, and from there you can see we can kind of give regular things. We got information about the person. So he's unconscious, he's not breathing, and he's not bleeding. He's not a possible overdose. These last bit, the bleeding, OD, and shock, those still have to be kind of coded in. And you can see you can kind of transition from everything kind of fluidly. The animations are linked up a little bit better, but I figure I'd talk about the necessary evil. Not all pedestrian models are the same in size, and this can actually be enough to throw the whole thing off in terms of it lining up correctly. So I'm using the static animation. I gotta find one that'll actually collect his blood pressure, but for 10 seconds his beats per minute. For 10 seconds it'll work to grab the beats per minute. So based off the timeline, this guy's got a really low heart rate and he's not breathing. So we'll continue to administer CPR and go from there. You can also stop the actions at any time, and I'll be expanding more on this, and eventually this will become a more friendly and GUI kind of state of things, and we'll go from there. And eventually, it's a hidden variable, the guy's health and all the stats and everything, but eventually we'll be able to resuscitate this unconscious person that's not breathing and get him breathing again. You can even see the rise and fall of the chest as we're administering breaths. And I kind of do this little warp toggle to make sure I get the animation for helping them up somewhat better, because this one's a rough animation to work with. The character constantly has a slide to the right, or to the left rather, and you can see it gets out of desync after a certain amount of time. And so we pretty much got this individual up. We got him breathing. I cannot talk today. Breathing, and we'll go ahead and be en route back to the hospital. For future updates, this victim right here, he's actually going to be able to make a determined decision because he's coherent. He's going to be able to say, hey, like, I don't want to go to the hospital, or hey, I do want to go to the hospital. And you know, he'll have to sign a waiver form. He'll have to sign a waiver form that says, like, okay, he's being released against our recommendation, and so forth from there. And you know, I guess what's next on the list now that the CPR mechanic is pretty much done, I need to do a little bit more finesse and polish to the animations. Next will be coming equipment. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and say some names that are wrong because I need to learn the names. But it's the AED, the defibrillator, you know, stuff to check oxygen levels and administer oxygen, things like that. The player getting gear from the truck and actually setting up next to the person, because some of these people you won't be able to get stable by just doing chest compressions and breaths. Like, you'll actually have to give them oxygen and do other means. And there's even going to be, you know, possible overdoses where you, like, Pulp Fiction slam them with the needle, if that's a thing. I still got to ask, you know, all the paramedic guys I've been bullshitting with. And we'll go from there. But we're at a clean state where I've got, you know, a basic templated call out that just works on the call out structure and spawning and all that stuff. The spawning system's in, and I'll probably be revamping that down the road to not use the list that I've taken from online, to actually make my own list out of respect for the person that made that. And from there, once I get these equipment mechanics slammed out and add more variation to the outcomes of conditions with the person you're coming to rescue, the game's on. Call outs are going to be what I'm pegging away at. Everything from people getting stabbed, a knife fight that police are already on scene for, and you know, just all types of stellar epic ideas that I think EMS run into. And I'm going to be taking some true to life real stories from the EMS guys that they think are hilarious, because you know, that in its essence, Grand Theft Auto 4 and 5 are about like that witty, kind of dark, nasty, sadistic humor. And I know that EMS have a lot of realistic, funny, dark, sadistic humor scenarios that they've responded to, and out of respect for them, I want to put it into the game. So you can see we just dropped we just got back to the hospital. We're dropping them off, and I'm still trying to determine what I'm gonna do with this guy. Once we drop him off, I'll probably have you go inside with him. You know, maybe warp everybody to the indoor hospital area and fill out more paperwork. But that's stuff that type of detail and depth is down the road. First, it's basic CPR, which is done, and then it's going to be equipment management, equipment getting, storing, using, and so forth. And then we'll move to call outs, and then from there, then we'll possibly do, you know, dropping off the patient in higher detail. And I know, like I said, this is a very busy time in my life. I'm exiting the military. I'm going to be moving, you know, packing everything up, looking for a new job and applying for that, and you know, on top of keeping this YouTube channel alive and coding and trying to make stuff for LSPDFR when that comes out, and this medic mod. Do not be discouraged if you guys see me fall off in productivity or in even communication. It's just, this is a very hectic time in my life, and I hope you guys kind of help me through it, and we'll see. Maybe I'll even start doing some vlogs about, you know, hey, this sucks, like I can't wait to move into a new location and get my computer rig set up. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I look forward to keeping you updated, and I know the mechanics seem very similar to the first video, but they're not. They're actually completely new. I've redone them, and they've all been ported over to the RageHook. So we can only go forward from here, and this thing is powerful. LSPDFR cannot fail, because this thing is just so awesome. I'll see y'all at the next one.